All right, let's dive in. Today we're going to tackle a massive challenge for pretty much any leader. How do you switch off that autopilot mode, the one that runs on pure habit, and start leading with real, genuine awareness?
So let me just ask you, straight up, are you leading on autopilot? And look, that's a serious question, because we all get swept up in the daily grind, right? It is so easy to just make decisions based on what we did yesterday instead of what we need today. But what if that autopilot mode is the very thing that's holding you and your entire team back?
And this idea, man, it really gets to the heart of it all. True leadership, it has nothing to do with your job title or where you sit on the org chart. As Csorba puts it in his book, Aware, it's all about cultivating an acute sense of awareness of yourself, of your team, and of everything happening around you.
So, why does this matter so much? Well, because leading on autopilot creates these huge blind spots. We're talking about the kind of mistakes you don't even see yourself making. Let's take a look at some of the most common and most damaging ones.
And you can see how these things are all connected, right? They kind of snowball. Running on autopilot leads to this intense tunnel vision on just getting tasks done. And when you're in that mode, you completely miss the bigger picture, things like team morale. That's when you fall into the trap of confusing activity with actual impact. Everyone looks busy, sure, but are they busy moving the needle? Does any of this sound a little too familiar?
Okay, so that's the problem. But the good news is there's a really powerful antidote to these blind spots. It's all about making a conscious shift in your mindset, moving away from just reacting to whatever lands in your inbox and toward leading with clear, powerful intention. Let's see what that actually looks like.
So check this out. For every blind spot we just talked about, there's a specific aware mindset to counteract it. Instead of running on autopilot, you intentionally pause and reflect. Instead of tunnel vision, you fight to maintain a 360-degree view. And to escape that activity trap, you constantly align your actions with your purpose. See? Every problem has a direct, intentional solution.
Now, one of the most powerful tools for getting that 360-degree view is something called deep listening. This isn't just about hearing the words people are saying. It's about tuning into everything else. The tone of voice, the real intent behind the words, and maybe most importantly, the silence. Sometimes what isn't said tells you everything.
So what's the secret sauce that makes all of this work? It's emotional intelligence. That's the bedrock, the absolute foundation for everything we're talking about. Your ability to get a handle on your own emotions and to really empathize with others, that's what gives you the power to pause, to see the big picture, and to truly listen.
Okay, theory is great, but let's get down to brass tacks. How do you actually do this stuff? We're going to get super practical now with a simple 4-step action plan you can use to start building that awareness muscle, like today.
Here's the roadmap. It's really straightforward. We start with some daily rituals, then move into practicing emotional check-ins, then we'll structure our listening, and finally we'll wrap up with a review for purpose. Let's break each one down.
Step 1 is all about creating bookends for your day. We're talking 5 minutes of journaling or just quiet reflection in the morning. This isn't about productivity, it's about setting an intention, pointing yourself in the right direction before the chaos of the day just happens to you. And then, at the end of the day, ask yourself this one simple question: what did I notice today that I usually miss? That question alone actively trains your brain to see what's really going on. Step 2 is where you start bringing this awareness to your team. A quick emotional check-in at the start of a meeting. This isn't just fluffy how are you feeling stuff. It's about getting real data. It uncovers hidden anxieties or excitement that are absolutely going to affect the meeting. It replaces dangerous assumptions with actual information. All right, step 3 is structured listening. A super simple trick here. Before you respond to someone, just repeat back what you think you heard them say. You're not just checking if you got it right, you're giving them a chance to hear their own thoughts out loud. And seriously, try this. In your next team meeting, just be a silent observer for 5 minutes. Who talks first? Who gets interrupted? You'll learn more about your team's dynamics in those 5 minutes than you will in an hour of talking.
And finally, step 4, the purpose check. Think of this weekly review as your quality control. It is your shield against the busy trap. By asking if your main activities actually served the bigger mission, you can be ruthless about protecting your team's focus. If a task doesn't align, you have to get rid of it or delegate it. This isn't time management, it's impact management.
But here's the thing. All this inner work is great, but it means nothing if people on the outside don't feel a difference. That's where the reality check comes in. You absolutely have to ask for 360-degree feedback. Ask your team, do you feel heard by me? Am I responsive?
Their answers? That's the only real scorecard that matters.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Awareness isn't a box you check off. It's not a course you complete and then you're done. It is an ongoing practice. It's a muscle that you have to decide to build every single day.
So let's just quickly recap the big ideas. Real influence and trust are built on a foundation of awareness. The goal here is to shift from that reactive autopilot mode to intentional, purposeful action. And remember, it's the small daily things that create the most significant change over time. This whole thing is a journey, not a destination.
So I'm going to leave you with that same powerful question we talked about for our daily ritual. But don't wait until the end of the day. Think about it right now as you finish this up. What did you notice today that you might have otherwise missed? That's it. That's where the practice begins.